And when you got that apartment, you were super happy. You were like excited. So I guess we're going live.
Oh yeah, you can tell when that happens.
I told you I see on the top it says live. You
Oh,
can't
I was
hide
like, hey,
from it.
we're talking about some good shit here. We might as well
Yeah.
throw it out there. But you're
No,
right.
I agree. I agree because we
That-
tend to start chatting and then so
and
we're
we
talking
we
here.
get to the juice. We're like,
We get
this is some juicy stuff here. But the today's topic, and it's probably echoey where I am. The only thing I could do is move in the other room where it's carpet. So does it echo, or can you hear me? Okay.
I hear you fine. I think it's hysterical that your oils are still on the wall. I would thought that would be the first thing you'd be bringing to the new spot. Your
No,
precious oils.
my
Precious.
oils, my lovely, lovely oils. Ah, la, la. No, I think what's happening, honestly, is that it's such, there's this, so much of a mix of emotions. It's like this stew of emotions. And now I'm looking at, like, when I first thing I walked in was I saw the urn of little Stew's ashes, my miniature horse's ashes in his urn and his little face that's painted on it. And I was like, oh, and then the first one of the first things I saw this morning was Tuesday, laying out in the grass and like me sitting on the front porch and having my coffee, and I was just like, this
Mm,
is my new life, and what I've worked so hard for.
mm,
I mean, people as as I was kind of post, and I didn't post a lot about this journey, you know, but when I was like, people that have known me for a long time were like, Jen, do you have what you're the most resilient person. And I was just talking, we were talking about that, remember we were talking about like lowering your tolerance for pain but maintaining your resilience. And like
mm.
they're like, you're certain you're not going to stop. And man, I'll tell you, when I would go into the grocery store and I would like, no, try this card, okay, no, try this card, no, try this card, and none of them are working, and I have to put groceries back, or I have to, I have to put groceries back so I can make sure that the horses have their hay. I have a hay delivery coming today. I mean, this move was huge and it was such a transition in my life. Same as you. You did the exact same thing 3 years ago. You jumped into the vortex, literally. You want to talk about like anything about all that. You jumped into the vortex. You had no, I like, this is a really great place to start, actually. Like, tell us a little bit of your origin story, because I'm still trying not to cry.
Oh, but that's why I want to see. I want to see you cry.
Oh my God, you just kept kick me in the balls.
No, no. I mean, my origin story. You're so funny. Way to throw it on to me to get it off of
Well,
you.
I mean, we both have great stories. And
Well,
and here, just real quick, because I want to, every single person that sees this video, you have a great story to tell.
oh yeah.
You have a story worth being heard. And what we're sharing here with you isn't just, oh, look at what I went through. I had somebody break my arm off and beat me with it, and then I sewed it back on with my hair, and then I fought a Wolverine, I mean, that's not why we're telling this. It really isn't. It's really because we want to show you that you're not ordinary, because anything is possible. I'm not ordinary. I'm not extraordinary. I'm just me. And that's enough to be me. And I want to be the best me I can be. And that's why we share these stories with you. It's like not to impress you, but to impress upon you that it's freaking possible.
Yeah.
It's so possible.
And that kind of triggers me or segues me into the idea of each story being different and each person being different. Because I mean, you and I have spoken many times about your tolerance for pain being much higher than my tolerance for pain, right?
Yes.
And I think it's beautiful because for anyone and everyone watching, Jen has been working really, really hard to get into this new property, and she did it. She got into it, but it wasn't without um, challenges and stress and detours and some roadblocks and whatever it is, but you never gave up, and I really tip my hat to you on that, because I remember saying to you at one point, is this shit worth it? I was like, because for me, and that kind of opens the door to multiple topics, right? Because don't listen when you are firm in your belief of what you want. Don't listen to anybody else, anything, because, and that's not to say that people aren't trying to help. Everyone always, it's in the they want to help.
Now that is beautiful, and I'm going to cut you off, but that's a very important point. And I heard Sarah Blakely, billionaire founder of Spanx, say this exact thing, and I know it to be true to the depth of my soul. When you say people want to help you from their model of the world and their version of the story,
that's right.
do not share your story with anybody that is not going to ask you how they can help you and support you and say yes and yes and Sarah, incidentally, Sarah's husband Jesse Itzler talks about that. He says, what is a yes and friend? What is a person that's going to say, you want to go buy this property? You want to go do this amazing thing? You want to build a marshmallow house, have a Jello rocket ship to the sun? Yeah. And how can I help? And where can I support you? And that sounds amazing. I will be there to celebrate with you. It's like, and it's so incredible, because you look at it, you go, it all comes back to a children's book, classic. Everybody's heard of the story, The Little Red Hen. Anybody remember the story of the Little Red Hen? So the story of the Little Red Hen. Oh
I gotta say, I never remember any of these stories. You're like, everybody remembers the story of the Little Red Hen and the Little Brown Fox and the Little Green Monster. Like, I don't remember half of these stories.
I remember the Little Green Monster. That's from my college days, though.
But I find it so amusing that my TV just turned on. First of all, this is a cat on the bed. Anyway, I find it so amusing that your bank of remembering things is absurd, and
I got an absurd, ladies and gentlemen.
Too off of the story. You got so many stories. Okay, so the Little Red Hen. Do we really? Yeah.
It's a great story. Like the Little Red Hen, she wants to bake bread. You're going to hear the story of the Little Red Hen, because I know you don't know it. But it's when you hear it, you go, oh my God, this classic children's tale is basically my life, or our life, right? And so she goes around and she says, hey, I want to bake some bread. And you have some corn or wheat or flour or whatever the hell you bake bread with. Said as a former chef. So I was a chef, not a baker. Anyway, go to the thing. And she goes, you have a thing I need to help bake. Would you like to help me bake the bread? And they're like, nah, I don't think so. And then she goes to another, hey, I want to bake some bread. Would you like to, help me come bake the bread? Nah, I'm kind of busy, like lounging at the pool, and my fingernail hurts, and I got to take my kids to volleyball. Okay. Next person, and because and you want to help me bake some bread? No, nobody wants to help the Little Red Hen bake the bread. But I don't know about you, but if anybody here is like Oprah, why I love bread, right? So Little Red Hen, she goes and she bakes the bread, and she does the thing. She puts the oven, does all the work, and
everybody wants some, right?
Is that bread? And everybody wants this bread. And it's funny, and I'm going to out you just a tiny bit, because we all have our moments where we have these moments where it's like, yes, oh, I love what you're doing. Remember that day you had to go on that little video rant when you're like, I'm tired of people telling me that they love bread, but they don't want to help me bake it, right? And we all have those moments. And I got to tell you, I did not have that experience. I was not the Little Red Hen this time, because everyone that I have known for years and years and years, some people I've never met, some people I've known for a very short time, stepped up. And when they stepped up and you helped me I sold my all of my Hilton Honors miles, you know, to I mean, like people were just coming up and coming up and coming up, and I was like, "Hey, does anyone help me want to help me bake some bread?" And they're like, "Yes."
Yeah. Well, and
And
that's what I think is really amazing, that what I was trying to relay before is the idea that I was so proud of you that you did not give up, and you kept going because you were so confident and firm in your belief that this is where you were meant to go. And that is your story, and it's beautiful, you know what I'm saying? And then other people's story, because back to the idea that everyone's story is going to be different because everyone's experiences are different, right? So, my perspective is going to be different too. There's times where I absolutely get an idea in my head and no one can stop me, and then there's other times where I'm like, I don't want to deal with this. It's too much. How can I reroute? How can I pivot? How can I, right? And so I think a testament, like, kudos to you, because even though I will say, even though at one point I was like, "Are you sure this is what you want?" When you said yes, it was like, "Okay, then keep going. You're gonna get there, right?" It was, but that was a little sneak into me, like, "Oof, this is too challenging. I don't know. And I certainly wouldn't want to be dealing with it." But
right,
there's other challenges that I deal with that maybe you wouldn't want to be dealing with. And
a
so
hundred
it's like
percent.
a beautiful way to be able to respect people where they're at. And like you said, the only thing should be to offer support, or just acknowledge and observe and don't even say
Right.
anything, because I think a lot of times it's tough for people to do that. Instead, and I've experienced that a lot too. But anyway, you're in the space, amazing stuff. So happy that you're there now, and now you're in your old apartment to have this call because the Wi-Fi is there, and you were feeling like you
It's horrible.
this is another.
It's horrible. And I
Your
gotta tell
Wi-Fi
you,
is kind of horrible too because you keep breaking up. Am I breaking up?
no, you're not breaking up. It's me. It's my stupid Wi-Fi. It's I have my phone's here if we need to shift the
Okay.
technology. But and at the end of the day, I want to also acknowledge you. Like, so share with us a little bit of your story, and if the TV's bothering you, you can turn that off. But Danielle is like, it's like she said, it's like, and you can say the cliches and she believes she did, she believes she could, so she did. Well, okay, that's all fine and good, but let's talk about when it gets tough. Like, you've been going through some tough too, and I, what happened 3 years ago when you decided to get your property, and look at what's grown from that.
Yeah, I mean, uh, I don't even know where to begin on that. It's obviously I did a lot before buying this property. I think the biggest piece for me is all the self development that I have been doing and had done, and recognizing through all that work that there was something missing in my life, and feeling very much like the life I was leading was very empty and unfulfilling. And so, of course, that led me to want more, to feeling like this cannot be all there is. This just cannot be all there is to life. Getting up, working for a-holes, and not feeling good about it, and getting home and self-medicating in various ways just to feel something other than the shit on a regular basis, right? And so
100%.
that that was what motivated me. And then once I started filling that my cup, and feeding my soul and finding that balance, I realized what I wanted to do, which was to be surrounded by horses, to be in nature, to help people and everything. And but of course, I I was filling that cup. I was still working at the job I hated, but I had this balance. So I was comfortable and a little what's the word, complacent, I think,
Oh,
because
yeah.
now there was more balance. It wasn't like this anymore, where like, I'm so unhappy, I'm so happy. It was like, oh, I found this and it's good. And so this is like not terrible. It still
Yeah.
sucks. I don't love it, but
Please pinch
you know,
my feet, but they're
right.
cute.
So the catalyst for me was obviously my family member taking their own life. And that is what the catalyst that made me say, what am I waiting for? I already know I want to do this.
Exactly.
And clearly people need help, whether you know someone well or don't know them at all. What you will never know is the thoughts that are going on inside their mind.
Oh boy.
So as long as we can provide tools for people to show them that you're not alone, that there are other ways, because typically the research has shown that people who take their own life, it's because they feel there's no way out, that there's no other way. But we
Right.
all know there is always another way. And so helping people to build their self-confidence, to build their self-awareness, to build their self-love. I mean, that's what it's all about. That's why
The
I'm here.
self-love. Yes.
So doing this has been very rewarding, but also very challenging. I mean, let's think about this for a minute. I used to work, I was in a high level position and everybody wanted my business. Everybody was constantly up my ass trying to get my business all the time. I was like, ugh, so annoying. Stop
Right.
emailing me. I don't know.
And now
You
here
know,
you are emailing people.
oh my, I can't even tell you. Do you know how many times I would just go to lunch, and because I never had to pay for anything. Everyone's whining and dining me because they're just trying to get my business, right?
Right.
So now here I am in the complete opposite side of things. And it has been
The worm here, right?
so different and so challenging in so many ways. And now people I thought were my friends, I thought we were buddies. Well, it turns out maybe not so much. And that's fine. Because listen, when we step into our power and we start doing what we are called to do, and we follow the call, the spirit, the flow, whatever you want to call it, people are going to fall out. And that's
Yep.
okay. It doesn't mean there's something wrong with them. It doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. It just means that things are changing and you
Yes.
have to be able to go with that. And so, yes, things have been a struggle. And I've been self-funding this project.
Ha! You and me
Self-funding,
both,
okay?
sister.
What?
You and me both.
Yeah. So now the biggest challenge of recently has been, I mean, whoever's watching, you're getting it all this morning, because I've been self-funding this. Guess what? It only took almost 3 years to run out of money.
And this is and here's the thing. And I want to say this with absolute genuine sincerity. That's the blessing. Running out of money was the blessing.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
you look at if you have the money, you're on the branch of the money tree. But when you run out of money, your wings got to fly, baby, and you ain't got nothing but you. And when that branch on that money tree dies and cracks, whether it's you made a bad decision and spent too much, you didn't market well enough, somebody lied to you and stole from you, whatever the story or whatever actually happened is irrelevant. Because the branch breaks, you flap your wings, kinda, if you feel like chicken tonight, which
Well,
is nice. Normally, when we've been eating ramen noodles at 48 years old, but I don't care because it doesn't matter, because I know these wings are going to take me where I need to be. I know that people like you and myself are going to play with our wispy wings on our hair.
I was just you knew what I was getting at. Here are my wings.
Yeah, but that's just it. And again, coming back to who you tell your story to. I didn't tell very many people. That's why I didn't post about it a lot. Now I'm going to be posting because I'm in. But I
Right.
didn't want I didn't want anything. I couldn't even tell my mother about this. I couldn't even tell my mom until it was already past the point of it, not past the point of no return,
Yeah.
because my mom would be that voice that I've been battling for
Mm,
years of,
right.
self-doubt, like you were just talking about, self-doubt, self-loathing, uh, uncertainty, fear, scarcity, anxiety, and all of those things. And I'm like, man, that is a powder keg ready to blow if you talk to the wrong person. You
Yeah.
talk to the right person, it goes in the engine and it fuels the tank, and it takes and it's jet fuel.
Yeah.
So you got to be very careful when you start going down these paths, especially you entrepreneurs out there. You guys are starting to want to do what you want to do. Like, know that,
And it's
and
gonna be uncomfortable. It's going to be so uncomfortable.
So uncomfortable.
And this is something that has been more happening more and more and more, right? The level of discomfort is just, it's just continues to keep getting more and more. And it's like, okay, I'm clearly facing, we talked about this the other day. I'm clearly facing the parts of myself
Mm.
that are like, whoa, 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 we can't do this. Whoa,
Mm-mm.
whoa, whoa.
Right, right.
How, whoa, 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 right? And it's like, okay, now I have to decide, do I push through this or do I stay here? Do I stay here or do I push through to get
Should I
here?
stay or
Because
should I go now?
right. And I
Right.
think it's a beautiful segue into, if we still want to look at the last
Yeah.
video of me and Rose,
So let's
because
give a little let's lead into this too. Rose is a beautiful horse. Incidentally, side note, the horse next to Bella and Tuesday at the barn where they were, her name was Dior, which
ha,
is what Rose's name used to be. So Rose, formerly known, the artist formerly known as Dior,
deal,
Dior,
deal.
yeah, Dior, was a rescue from South here in South Florida, and so she came and I was just going to train her for a little while and foster her, and she just really ended up just being an incredible addition to my barn and my programs and things that I was doing. And then I was like, and then when I came up to New York to stay with Daniela for the summer a couple years ago, like the round out for her herd and what she was doing, like Rose was just such a beautiful natural fit that I donated, with her permission, of course. I donated Dior, now known as Rose, to Daniela's program and Daniela's space. So we're going to bring her on. She's you're not your typical crazy chestnut thoroughbred mare. No, she is exactly your typical crazy chestnut thoroughbred mare. So we're going to play with her. I think, how old is Rose? Do we think now? I think we said like 13, maybe 12 or 13.
Oh, I thought you had said somewhere around 18.
No, she's younger. I know
Oh,
she's younger than
younger.
Bella, and Bella's 15. So she's
Oh.
in her teens. You can have if you've ever heard the phrase, never look a gift horse in the mouth, here's why. You can look
Mm.
into their teeth, the vet or somebody that's knowledgeable, and everybody back in the day who had, because everybody had horses back then, knew how to tell the age, or close, how to tell the age of a horse by looking at their teeth. So if someone gifted you a horse, you would just say thank you, and you shouldn't check their teeth to see how old the horse is to help determine its value. Younger horses have longer lives and are more valuable than an old gray mare that ain't what she used to be. So that's where the phrase "never look a gift horse in the mouth" comes from. So
I love when you give those tidbits because I never know where half of these phrases come from or less than half of them. And you're a wealth of knowledge, people, wealth of knowledge this morning. The amount of information in that brain is insane.
yeah, it's
But yeah, so
physical form of Chat GPT right here.
mhm. That's
Chat
funny.
GPT is going to put me out of business.
Chat GPT is my best friend these days. Like
Oh,
BFF.
there's a big controversy. Anyway, to all that to say, Rose, we think, is about 13. She's in her early teens, which is a nice. She's mature. She's a mature horse. She's an adult now. She's not going through her toddler years or teenager anymore. And I spent a lot of time training her and working with her. And Daniela has taken her Rose's development journey on. And so she's going to be the star of the show today. And I think you can present and share your screen with us if you like.
Mm-hmm.
And there was one last thing I wanted to say about, and this is because this is one of my favorite quotes. I need to like print it out, put it on a plaque or whatever. And I get criticized every single time I bring this up, but I love it and I stick with it. And I don't care what you think about Elon Musk or Twitter or space. I don't care. What he said in the interview was so powerful. The interviewer asked him, "So Elon, what words of encouragement would you give a starting entrepreneur?" And he said, "If you want to become an entrepreneur, you should not. Or if you need words of encouragement, don't become an entrepreneur."
Ah,
And he's so right. When you actually go down this journey, I had no idea. If you told me 10 years ago that it would have been as hard as it was for me to get, you're gonna make me cry. I'm gonna cry. If you told me 10 years ago it was going to be as hard as it was for me to get where I am today, I would have my and Daniela and I have this unfortunate commonality that both of us had family members that took their own lives. And but there, I don't know that I don't know that I would have chosen this path had I known how hard it was going to be. So for that, though, and that message I hope goes out to everybody that's looking for certainty or looking to
Mm.
know what's coming. Because if you
Oh,
know what's
what's
coming,
coming? You can never know what's coming. And like trying to, what I've seen, do you see my screen first of all?
yep, I can add it right now.
Okay, perfect. What I, not to be the voice behind the screen, but what I've been realizing so much is that I relied so heavily on the security of having a clear plan, and my plan continues to change, and that's been tough.
Daily,
Yeah,
hourly
daily,
sometimes.
hourly, absolutely. And so it's kind of, at first it was a struggle, right? But now it's kind of formulating into this beautiful symphony of like, okay, where is it going to go next? What's going to happen next? And there's been enough experiences, and I can both attest to at this point, where we know we're supported, we know we're on the right path, we know we're going to get through whatever trials continue to come at us. But being able to let go of that fear a little more now, and embrace the beauty of like, it's not my job to know how anything is going to occur. It's just my job to continue to move on this path, because I'm continuously supported, and I've been given the fuel to come here. There, I was guided, call it whatever you want, by God, by the universe, by source, I was guided by a force that brought me here. And so continuing to just trust in that, and believe and know that it's going to continue, and it has, and it will, and it always will. And so it actually is beautiful. It's beautiful because it's like, oh, I don't have to stress as much as I thought I did. I don't have to have the answers like I thought I did. I just have to trust in the process and surrender to life,
Oh my God.
because listen, yesterday is a perfect example. I had a whole day planned out, and then my little baby chihuahua was so sick that like she took precedence, and it was like, okay, and I went to the vet, and I wasn't prepared for that, but then something happened at the vet that was like, okay, wow, I guess I'm exactly where I'm supposed to
Where you're
be, doing
supposed to be.
exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. And like those experiences are
Proof.
priceless.
Mm-hmm. Because
Anyway,
they're proof that we're
yes,
not complete lunatics.
right.
Because I think sometimes I'm like, not that I don't see the value in what it is. Because I follow Jeremy Miner. He's a kind of he's a sales training guy. He's pretty good. Like his message is really solid. It's about building relationships and stuff. And he was saying, you are not selling trying to get other people to believe in your product. You are selling people on the idea that you believe in your product or
Mm.
service or whatever it is. And I believe in it. And I believe in it so good. And then sometimes I'm like, am I just insane? And then I look back at all the people that have been in my programs and had breakdowns to breakthroughs and these outstanding experiences and the shift from rows and the horses that, and then I just look back and I go and I stack as many things as I can on top of one another to
Mm.
remind myself that this is powerful when I feel that self-doubt. And I have a
Right.
little pattern interrupter. So if you ever hear me snapping my fingers, I'm like
Mhm.
interrupting my pattern, because even at this level, even after 10 plus years of working directly with people like Tony Robbins and directly with like Joe Dispenza and Master Co and healing. I mean, the list goes on and on. I mean, you and I both have spent what? Did he send some personal development?
Yeah, yeah.
And I'll tell you something too. When you go through the idea that you want to do something besides sell your hair on Etsy, then you want to take your, and nothing wrong with selling your hair on Etsy, by the way, just saying. I probably wouldn't get much for this mop. But the point is like when you decide to do something that requires more effort than you personally have. That's the thing that I just realized with this property is when everyone's like, you got to do something that's bigger than yourself. I'm like, well, horses are bigger. You know, you got to do something that's bigger than yourself. Well, what that means is you have to do something that requires other people to give you their time, effort, energy, resources, money, what have you.
Yeah.
And that was a huge real, I mean, bigger than myself. I'm like, I have a
Yeah.
big vision. It's huge. But
Yeah.
then I thought I could do all of it.
So let's jump into this video at Rose real quick because I have to pick up medicine for Ruby at around
Okay.
2:15.
Those of you watching, or if you're watching this part, let's make sure we give Ruby a little love today. All right, so
Yeah.
you should be able to see. Oh, it's 10 minutes. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So
And I'm going to preface this with I did not feel good about this session at all, but I'd be curious to hear what you say.
gorgeous. And I have no prep. She didn't tell me what she was trying to do. Nothing. So just to let you know, this is kind of like Gladiator. I'm just going with what's out the gate. So there might be just some silence as I observe. So far, Rose just kind of looks like, okay, nothing. We're just having a casual conversation about, Dancing with the Stars last night. So nothing really too, hey, oh, hey, hang on, back up. All right, so that's good. So far, so good. Everything looks nice here so far. Nice and soft.
Well, just wait. It's
Okay. All right, is this one of these BS TikToks? Wait till the end, and then it's just like a kitty.
Well, I think what happened was once I started, I had an idea
No,
in
no
mind.
spoilers. No spoilers. La, la, la.
Okay.
So
And
everything looks good to me. She's just like, what are we doing? And you're like, nothing. She's like, are you Esther Hicks? No. Just hanging out. I like that she's really calm with the stick and the string. I like that I tell you did that. Generally, your handling's pretty good. You're getting the stick over her back. I know you have the roof to consider, so you're doing a pretty good job there. Everything's nice and relaxed. No session with her can ever be like, even if you just ended right there, just anything that she can put another little shink that people aren't here to do things to her is awesome. All right, little tail swish there, which we know she's very sensitive there. Okay, that's interesting. Cool. Again, this is sort of I'm just watching this blind. I'm not listening to what Danielle is saying in the video, nor do I know what her goal is. This is just me watching a video of my bestie with a horse. So I don't see anything about this that's terrible or awful or something to feel bad about. You're just not having any kind of you're not really having a conversation yet.
well, right, because I was trying to, and you'll see, I
Well,
wasn't.
no spoilers. I know this is tough. This is tougher than me coaching you. www.shh.com. I think it's actually Zip It, but it's been a long time since I've seen that movie. All right, so yeah, she's like nothing doing. Nothing doing. Oh, we're gonna try that stuff. Okay.
Yeah. So my brain was trying to calculate, wait, how am I going to do this? What am I? And I'm still trying to, I don't remember.
Okay, so pause it real quick because I'm going to say 3 things right now, right fast, just right off the bat. Number 1, never do this in an enclosed space.
Yeah. That's why it's only an 11-minute video.
I guess the best is yet to come. We've got 7 minutes to see what's happening. Number 2, when you throw the rope over her, reach with your left hand underneath to get it instead of coming in underneath with your outside hand. Okay, keep going.
Okay.
There was a third one. Uh,
I feel like I have too many things in my hand, and that's when I started feeling I couldn't remember how you did it that day in the arena, and this is why if you watch, you can see my brain is like working overtime to like try to remember.
oh, gotcha, gotcha. Okay, here we go. Just even this is an improvement. But like I said, that like never do this in an enclosed space. There's way too many things that she could. You saw her kick out the when I played with it last time, right?
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
And
So
there she
that
goes.
would be my number one thing is just and like right. Let's look for a place to stop. Short, not there. There would have been a good. There would have been a good place. There, good. Okay, you know what? I gotta give you credit because, and I don't point this out often enough because I don't think you whatever are aware of it or give yourself credit for it. Your releases are really nice. The timing of your releases are really nice. At least it was there. I have 7 more minutes of video. We might see, but there, even there, it's like perfect. So yeah, your time, the timing of your release is really nice. So everything so far so good. Looks, and if it gets too hairy scary, we're gonna turn it off live because I don't want haters. No, just kidding. We go raw and real here. Like there, very nice. Okay, so I'm not hating any of this except Scotty bugging her and all the things we already talked about.
Right.
And you could put your stick down. That could be helpful
Yes.
too.
Yeah. And I think at some point I do realize that, but I couldn't remember if you
Beautiful. This looks really good. I mean, considering.
right.
No, it looks great. And like right there, you're kind of there. Very nice. Now wiggle the rope a little. Look at you. See? All right. She's a good student, guys. Does a good job. Look at Rose. She's so beautiful. So now there's a conversation going on that look, there you put your stick down. Okay, good. And so for anybody watching that's like, well, why are you doing this? We're just helping her get more comfortable. The rope isn't like a flank rope. It's just loose. I want to be super clear that we're not pulling on her, squeezing on her. We're just rubbing her with a rope in a place that's very sensitive for her. And we're trying to help her relax and trust us to be in a sensitive area of her body by gently asking for permission over time. And there, beautiful release. Very nice. Yeah. So what about this besides like kind of some of the little obvious things, but what about this do you not like? Because this all looks great to me.
I think there's still more.
Oh, but wait, there's more. Are you Ron Popeil going to send me the handy fisherman? Popeil.
Because well, because I started getting a little, I think, in my head, because then here, see, she's like, she doesn't even want me to touch her.
Yeah.
And
So
I
then
think,
go ahead.
yeah. Do you see me? I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Well, her tail isn't going to cut your hand off. You whipped it away like it was a chainsaw.
Hey, you know how it hurts when that tail gets you in the eye, okay?
That was your hand. So, but okay. All right. So good. Everything looks great. Again, I'm kind of like, okay, Scotty. All right. Again, we're not
Yeah.
going to,
Yeah.
So that's okay. We're just observing what we have going on here. Anybody that's joining us, this is not an exercise that we encourage you
I
to
didn't
do.
even realize he was biting her.
Yeah,
That's
of
so
course. You
funny.
can't. You're on the wrong side. Right. So and consider this too. This is a sensitive topic for her.
Right.
So to take other not take her like don't take her away in the corner and have like the talk. It's fine that they're there, but have her in a space where you can be where she's not being pestered. Like
Right.
you could be up at the on the other side of the round pen.
Yeah. Yeah.
They could have seen out, or even have them in the yard if she's worried about being far away from them. So, but like everything you're doing, then you whack Scotty in the
I
okay.
didn't.
Rope handling 101. It's okay. But again, like there's nothing about this except that it's not. Nothing's
Yeah, and
wrong.
I felt that too, and I can't even remember right now why I stayed in the barn. I think it had been raining and then it stopped,
Oh,
but I
gotcha.
was already set up and I was like, "Well, let's just," but, I did feel, and so there I should have used my right hand,
Your
right?
right hand and go under.
Yep.
But look how calm she is.
Yeah.
I mean, you should see some of the video from when we, and so you're just going the other direction now.
Right.
Great. I like that you're going both ways. She's trying to put you in that left eye
Right.
because she's turning tighter, and this is this more stressful side for her.
Yeah.
She's like, I ain't going to do that again. Did she kick the wall when she did that?
She just no, I don't think she did. She just that was when I was like, "Yeah, I should not be in here for
Yeah,
sure." And I think that's probably when I was like, "All right, I think."
perfect. And that was great. And here's the thing. Anybody that's watching that last little bit where she's playing with it, Rose kicked the wall, and then she played with it a little bit more and said, wait, this is outside my skill set, or I'm not in the right environment. I need to make a change. I want to really point out and be super clear how important it is to recognize that and not try and stick with it because you're going to try and lead on a good note. Make sure
Mhm.
you finish on a good note. Sometimes you just don't have that option. And Daniela realizing that that her need to be in a different location, environment, space, what have you, change the game does not reward Rose for the bad behavior or kicking a stall wall. It just changes the conversation. And kudos to you for having that awareness to take a step back and go, wait a minute, let me figure out where I know how to be in my lane. And I get this all the time. When you don't know when you say, and you call me and you say, I don't know what to do, the truth is you actually do know what to do. You can always put the horse away and go home and cry. That's always an option. So you do know what to do. Now,
Yeah.
and I actually had this conversation with somebody that stopped by at the Xenogen yesterday, and she was like, well, I just don't want to do things wrong. I'm like, you're always doing them wrong. And she didn't like that. And I said, but you're also always doing it right. There is no right or wrong. There's
Mhm.
shades of gray of how you improve and how you learn and how you grow. Because today's wrong, today's right will be yes, tomorrow's wrong. And
Right.
yesterday's wrong is to today's right. It's just you because you're always improving.
Say that 10 times fast.
Yeah,
Today's wrong, tomorrow's right, tomorrow's right, tomorrow's wrong. Today's right, tomorrow's right.
right. So that's just so and what you did right there, what honored her and honored her where her needs were, which is way more important than teaching or something. You're going to learn a squared plus b squared equals c squared. I don't care if you're crying. You're going
Yeah.
to learn this. So to take that and say, hey, you know what? Hang on. Let's see what's up. And
Yeah.
go back and find better answers to support. How many times did you see me? We've both been talking about this. Sometimes it changes in the hour. And we are talking about being an entrepreneur earlier. But in horses, it can change in the moment. And there are multiple moments in a second. Like how fast
So
a car accident happens. So much
right.
happens that fast.
Well, and so what I was trying, obviously I realized, yeah, right, do it in the round pen. But so next time, let's say I'm in the round pen, and you see how she gets on me a little. So that was why I thought I should have the stick, but I could not navigate all those things in my hand. I was like, so like, what am I doing right now? And I don't even know if I have video of you doing it with her that day when you were here. Because I feel like you had all of those because I remember you pushing her off of you and being like, no, that doesn't mean get on me. Don't get on me. Right. But I don't remember how the hell you were doing all of that.
And that's funny. That's why, and I even said, be careful when you try this because it's a little bit of a, it's a it's a challenge. It's definitely a higher level type thing. And just what you did, what the way you handle the rope and how you kind of handle, that's fine. And ideally, you can just gently squeeze the rope and she'll come down to a walk or in a stop. you know. But all this is just building her confidence that she can trust that we can touch her back there with a something, and you can continue to play with the stick and the string, and you can like get under there with the stick, because I'd rather her kick that stick, because I can go to www.stick.com and get
Mm-hmm.
me a new stick. It's going to be a lot harder to get me a new one of these. I only got 10 of these,
Right.
and 2 of these. Although,
Well, and you know what is interesting? I realized yesterday, first of all, it was so ridiculously hot, and I happened to come out and go down as Rose was splashing her head in the water trough.
what?
So, yeah, so I was like, okay, if let me hose her down, right? Because she's
Yep.
trying to splash herself apparently,
Oh, she's
and
hot
I
for
know
sure.
she enjoys a good hose down. So I turned the hose on, and that same spot, even with the hose, she started moving. So this morning I was thinking, I wonder if I could do this with the hose, because
Sure.
why not, right? Anything that she's getting a little. Now, if I'm with the hose, that's going to be even trickier because now I have a hose, but
You can like build to that, build to
yeah,
those. And the other thing too is that sometimes they feel the pressure of the water of
right.
the hose, and they think it's they think they
Yes.
need it. Trace moves away from it when I'm like, I can use the hose as a stick, like a stick.
Yeah.
So and she's super sensitive, which is why she did that.
Right. And I
So
didn't even have a sprayer. It was just the
just the
actually no,
hose.
I was putting my thumb to get on top to go
Mm.
further. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so
So
there's the
funny.
pressure there she feels.
Yeah.
Sure. But I don't, there's nothing wrong with that session, except for the couple little things that you figured out pretty quick, less than to what 10 minutes or so,
Mhm. Mhm.
and she it's okay, and that's the thing too. And we kind of go back to the conversation of entrepreneurship and all that. And again, I don't mean being self-employed. I mean having a business that you operate and own as an entity, not just oh yeah, I work at AT&T and also sell my hair on Etsy. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about making the big leap into something like, and there's no judgment. And if you are or aren't, just know that there's a difference. There's a big difference between doing things and just having fun and doing your own. It all should be fun, but sometimes it ain't.
Right.
And the only
Right.
time it ain't fun is when you're going up against your old belief systems and trying to break through the belief systems, which is again why don't tell anybody about your big vision, about your Jello rocket ship to the sun idea, unless they also are Jello rocket ship to the sun kind of people.
Or also on top of that, until you're ready to be able to combat whatever, because sometimes it's good to have people to be like, well, but how are you going to do that, because yellow doesn't go with green, it's going to create orange instead of purple, and you're looking for purple, right? And then you could be like, so sometimes people's comments could actually help you
It
to
can,
really,
it
if
can.
you're ready for it, is what
You
I'm
gotta be ready.
saying.
Yeah, like
That's it.
Sarah Blakely, she didn't tell anybody her idea about Spanx for over a year.
Mm,
She didn't tell anyone. And
right.
by then she had gone through the process of going, yeah, Spanx. Yeah, this is something that's a thing. This is a thing. And by the
Right.
time she started sharing this with people, she had, like you said, she was ready to share it
Yeah.
with, and not me, man. I was like,
Yeah.
hey guys, I love horses and they saved my life. They'll help you too. And everybody's like,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and I got the
Um,
guy, and it was really
well,
hard.
it can be really hard, and I hate to, but I have to
Oh yeah,
get
you gotta
ready to
go.
go to the vet. But this was really good, and I'm glad that we got to watch that, because now I have a little more, and I'm going to work with bourbon this week too. I want to have 2 videos for next week.
Oh, perfect. Okay, guys.
Yeah.
So every day, FunDay Friday, it's 1 p.m. Eastern time. Generally, I was a couple minutes late today because I had a little mini meltdown about being at the apartment. Daniela's got to run. They're usually about 45 minutes. It's perfect timing, but 49. So I'll let y'all go. Have an amazing day. Believe in yourself. It will change your life. And FunDay Fridays live in New York. It's FunDay Friday. All right, just kidding. But you can go
Last Friday of every month.
last Friday, the last Friday of every month. So it'll be the 28th July 28th this month, you can come and check Daniela out in Hudson Valley area in New York at Artemis Hill. So go take care of your little pup. Wish us luck,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Big changes coming for both Daniela at Artemis Hill and Xenogen down here in South Florida. So make sure you reach out and check us out. Leave us comments, love, support, because we cannot do this alone. So have an amazing day. Bye. Good luck with Rivers.
Thank you. Bye.